What's up? How we doing? Thanks for staying this long. All right. Cool. Well, I read the news sometimes, and I saw that an 8-year-old boy hanged himself. Get comfy, guys. And so the school came out on record and said that it was like such a terrible loss because, you know, this boy was so special. And it's like, yeah, obviously. At 8, I couldn't even tie my shoes. Good. So it's probably jokes like that whenever my parents come see me do stand-up, their feedback is never like how funny I am, more just how brave. And like, I guess that's nice or whatever. They've said worse things, but just to like clarify, I am up here for laughs, and like everyone has been up here for laughs. This is a comedy show, and I would just be so much happier if you laughed now rather than like sat silently and then later were like, oh, you know that girl that went on around 10:30? So brave. I mean, she wrote those jokes. Thought they were okay to say. Put together a show probably just so she could tell those jokes. And then said them anyways. Wow, that is so brave. Yeah, so also my grandma from Houston comes and sees me do stand-up a lot. And her feedback was that my act should be dirtier. Okay, Kathy. So that's just like a fun little fact, although I guess maybe this goes in that category. We'll see. When my sisters and I were all little and we would all go to the restaurant together as a family, we used to fight over who got to sit on the buzzer for when it vibrated. And thinking about that now, it's like really uncomfortable. But my parents loved it, which is even worse. And like, I don't know why. I like, maybe it's some parenting couple goal that you like want to watch all 3 of your daughters simultaneously have a sexual awakening. I can't figure it out. They have yet to hear that joke, so we'll see what they say. But it just goes to show you that like every family is different, you know? Some families like to start meals with a group prayer, others with a group orgasm. It's okay. Boy, oh, this is fun. So we'll keep on this train. I was in Scotland for the semester. Yeah, and just to give you an idea, like in the first 2 months, I saw 10 minutes of sunshine, okay? I was lonely, I was cold, I got on Scottish Bumble. So please just allow me to tell you about a date I had. It went average to fine, so fast forward to my bedroom, because it was the dark times. And so just to preface though, people kind of get tense when I tell this story. I want to clarify now, I'm fine. I'm talking it up casually, all right? Nothing is repressed. So just roll with me, all right? Let's have a good time. So, thank you. So we start hooking up, and after a few minutes, he takes my head and shoves it into the pillows behind him. And he starts yelling, "Stay down, stay down." And I was like, this is new. I don't know what to do, but, you know, still close enough to New Year's resolution. Step outside that comfort zone. So I rolled with it. But then a few minutes after that, and this all happened in a very quick period of time, he says, "You're going to have to try a lot harder than that to get me hard." Okay. Is that a challenge? Because if so, I will not back down, because I can't resist a challenge, even if it has to do with a stranger's ding-a-ling, and that is on me. Then he says, "No, you don't understand." He then proceeds to tell me how he last week broke up with this year-long girlfriend, and she'd had some problems with suicide, so he was worried and had to go check on her. So he finds her passed out on her bed, covered in blood and vomit. He takes her to the hospital, where luckily she is fine, but her parents pick her up, and he has not seen her since. And just to remind everyone, I am completely naked right now and drying up faster than South Africa. And I go, wow, I'm so sorry. But then he says, no, you don't understand. What else could there be? Then he says that, this girl, she was also an American. I was like, oh, same. She also had blonde hair. Cool. On my good days, that's what I say. But also her name was Madeleine. That's my name. I then remembered that we had met on Bumble, so I had been hand-selected for these exact characteristics. And I realized I have seconds to minutes until I'm about to get murdered. However, he refuses to leave my room. And instead of being murdered, he just spends the rest of the night begging me for sex to help him get over his ex-girlfriend, which is how that works. So obviously I didn't do that, because I know it doesn't sound like it, but I do have standards. And I already had to overlook, which was probably the worst part of the night, which was that he was wearing a tight shirt from Hollister. And honestly, that's what scarred me the most from the whole experience. I'll end you on this. This has been a whirlwind. So yes, I was abroad, if you've heard. And also there, I had a Call Me By Your Name style whirlwind romance, to put it lightly, but less fruit, disappointingly enough. And so we would always play this fun game where it was like why we wouldn't last. It was really healthy. And so he said for me that even though I was very mentally stimulating, thank you, it wouldn't last because I wasn't feminine enough. Okay, yeah, so I don't know why he would say that to me, because I do wear makeup when I am home, and my mom is yelling at me that I look like a cancer patient that's given up. And yes, I chew with my mouth full of food and talk with it full of food, but that's only to show off how much I can fit in there. Thank you. And sure, I toot a lot, but I call them toots, and that's so cute. And last, he said that long hair was the most attractive quality in a girl. And so for that, I pulled down my pants. Thank you so much. All right, well, that's been me.